All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a real good treat, fun treat for y'all. And it's something that is seriously, I think, in my opinion, is kind of, I'm not going to say overlooked, but let's just say put on the back burner. It's not as important to a lot of people, but we will get to that. As always, guys, my name is Oscar. I'll be your kind of host today. And we have two very special guests with us. One is Mark Otto. Say hello, Mark.
Hello, everybody.
And then we have Mr. Gary Aguilar, who represents Alphagun Gun Oil. How you doing, Mr. Gary?
Very good. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. So I think you guys out there, viewers, have kind of figured out that we are going to be talking about some, for lack of a better word, it is a gun oil. Right, it's a lubricant for our different platforms, and the name of it is Alphagun Gun Oil. You can find this. I will get to the specifics on that, but I know for sure you can find it on Amazon. 2-ounce bottles, nicely priced, and you know Amazon shipping is really quick. So. And why do I say it's kind of overlooked? This is a product that's not so, you don't hear hardly anybody talking about it, especially in the competition world, much less law enforcement, even less. Why is it important? Well, I think if you start to think about it, it's extremely important, especially here in South Texas, where, man, we can reach temperatures of 105, and then, you know, in the couple of weeks of winter that we have, you know, we can hit the freezing mark. But in those really hot conditions and those windy conditions, the salt in the air from the Gulf of Mexico, it can really play hell on your weapons. So it's extremely important to be using the right kind of lubrication for it, and protection. So that is why we're here today. Guys, y'all have a bottle of it. Show it up there. Alphagun Gun Oil. It's got the little fine point applicator. All right. So 2-ounce bottles. I'm just kind of reading over my notes here. Seriously reduces friction and wear, repels dirt and contaminants. And it has something called nanotechnology. And that's what we're going to kind of get with first. So first and foremost, Mr. Gary Aguilar, give us a little background on yourself, please.
Yes, sir. Hey, Oscar, thank you for having me. I mean, I do appreciate it. And I'm going to be brief about my background because I know we got a lot to cover. But I met Mark Otto. We worked together at the federal prison system in Three Rivers, Texas. After 9/11, I jumped over to the Federal Air Marshals, did that for a few years, went through a divorce. It was just, you know, cops have a hard time keeping wives. I went through a divorce, didn't want to be a deadbeat dad. I came back to the Corpus Christi area. I got transferred over here with TSA, and my territory was San Antonio down to Brownsville, and met a lot of good people. And I retired in 2019. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I started this small business. It's called High Speed Supply. I retired Halloween Day 2019. COVID hit in March. It was crazy. But the bottom line was that I wanted to create a business. I started reaching out to suppliers of chemicals. And I found a local supplier of chemicals, and I sold 7 tractor trailer loads to the state of Texas. I started calling my contacts. They trusted me because they knew if I said that I could do something, I could do it. And I can tell you that I got a really good relationship with the state of Texas because what I promised came through. And they said, Gary, we can't even tell you how many people we've gone through, and you're on the top of the Rolodex for our chemicals. Anyway, long story short, and of course, after the COVID, that business just kind of dropped. So I was getting emails from Amazon, and I thought they were bogus emails. Well, I'd gotten them for months, and I finally decided to contact them. They gave me a coach. I learned Amazon, and a long story short, a cousin of mine visited this awesome facility here in Corpus Christi, Texas. And he came to my house and he said, Gary, man, I know you were in this COVID thing and you chemicals. And let me tell you, I just came from a facility by the airport that is top notch, FDA certified, awesome place, awesome people. And I said, man, can you get me a phone call? Please get me a phone call. I'd love to talk to somebody. Well, I tell you, a guy named Trent Stout. He's a local manufacturer. He gave me a few minutes on the phone. And of course, you know, you don't really know each other. I just said, look, I'm a local guy. I retired law enforcement security, and I want to work with somebody that's manufacturers here in town. Long story short, he said, you know, I have this Alphagun gun oil that is top notch. We just need to put it out there. And I said, give me a chance. Give me a chance. Let me check this stuff out. He gave me a few bottles. I went, ran my pistol, my 6-hour P229, and I loved it. And I knew this stuff was legitimate. Then I went over and I mean, I asked about the testing. They decided, hey, we're going to do live testing with you here. Went over, we did the live lubricity testing against top competitors. And that's where really I was blown away. I mean, with these top competitors, and I'm not going to mention the top competitors' names. I can just tell you that
if we can, I hate to cut you off. I don't mean to, but this is a topic that I want to go more in depth. You know, because we have some questions on that.
Sure.
And that's going to be very, very important. So before I just turn you loose on it and let everybody go, let me introduce Mark Otto real quick and tell us, you know, all about you, Mark.
I'm Mark Otto. I worked with Gary in prison. We spent a few years together, holding hands, so to speak. And Gary called me out of the blue one day because he knows I was a competitive shooter. I've been shooting since I was 10 years old, and I'm 58 now. I'm still competing. Not as fast as I used to be. I mainly now compete in 3-gun. And, you know, when Gary showed me this oil, I was like, wow, let me try this. I mean, I'm shooting open shotguns, which is dissident arms, VR-80s, Benellis, and then, you know, then you go to your ARs that are custom built. You know, they're fine machines that you want to make sure that they're lubricated good and they function correctly, because this is the biggest thing that, especially some of the places we shoot in Burnett, Texas, we call it moon dirt because it's a fine dust and it gets in your gun. I've been RO there for over 8 years, working the Magpul matches, Texas Vortex shootout and so forth, and different matches there. And I watch guns fail. And I'm like, wow, did you lube it? Yeah, but I guess I didn't lube it with the right stuff. Well, when I got introduced to this, I pretty much, you know, I've used synthetic motor oils, you know, saying, oh, Royal Purple was the best thing in the world. Not to dish Royal Purple. It's great for your automotive. But, you know, this product is 10 times better than any of the oils I've ever used in my entire life. And that's been a long time shooting with different functions of rifles and so forth, from semi-automatics to bolt actions and so forth. Same way with a pistol. You know, you want something that's going to be a well-lubricated machine, like with a pistol rifle and semi-automatic shotguns. It's like a piston in your car. If it doesn't have good lubricant, it starts hesitating, starts freezing. All of a sudden, it locks up. This stuff is going to prevent all of that, in my opinion.
And so let's get now. You are when y'all say in y'all work together in the prisons. This is federal corrections, correct?
Yes.
Right.
And both of y'all are retired in the federal. Not Mark, you're federal corrections retired, and right. Gary, you are in the a federal officer.
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security was the last gig I did.
Homeland Security. Okay. Yeah, and I know. I'm not trying to be. I want to focus on you guys and your expertise, not so much the product right now. We'll get to that in a minute because I got some real good questions for that. But I want the people to know that we got two professionals here. Mark, you have been competing. I've been knowing you, about good 15 years now?
Yes, sir. 10,
15, something like that?
Give or take.
We used to, I think I ran into you at, when I first got into 3-gun. And we went out there to the Corpus range and got involved with you then, and then went to pistols and So we've been kind of doing this a good minute. You are also a match director.
Yes, I put on matches. I'm doing a steel challenge later on in April, the Area 4 Championship, which is Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. We're going to have a steel challenge match here in Corpus Christi, Texas. You can get a hold of me via the web or so forth. I can get you the link. Go to Practice Score, look up Area 4 Steel Challenge Championship, and you'll see a link there. 3 days of shooting, $50 per gun. We're going to do a cash payout. We're not going to do a prize table because it's quicker and easier to do a cash payout for the top 10. If we have 10 in a class, we're going to pay the top 5. And,
and this match is a pistol match.
Yes, it's pistol or PCC or 22. Steel challenge is its own, unique thing. And it's a little bit different, which is it's 8 stages, 5 runs, take your best 4 runs, throw out your worst run, and Bob's your uncle, you're done.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you either are a regional director?
I'm a section coordinator. I have clubs that are under section coordinator. Area 4 has different.
That's right.
We have like 14 or 15 different sections coordinators that have clubs up under them that I'm responsible for my clubs. I have 2 down in the valley, and then we have Corpus Christi here. We have our own club here. And, I have to make sure, one, they're following the rules and regulations of USPSA and that they're doing their matches correctly and so forth. And then we have an area director who's in charge of all 4 states, and that person does a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I got you. So I know when you guys say something, when y'all speak, it's important. We should listen. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Okay. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that moon dust, because we have some matches in Oklahoma in the long range community. I think I went to one 2 years ago, and I'm still, if I go look at my AR right now, I still have that moon dust in there. It's hell to get it out. You ain't getting it out, put it that way.
No.
I even heard of some guys breaking their rifles down and going to the car wash and just put it under a power washer. I never heard of that, but some guys say they do it just to get that stuff out. So anyways, moving on. Okay, Mr. Gary, let's get back to you real quick. So this friction test.
Right.
I was real curious when it comes to that, because Alphagun gun oil was put up against other brands.
Right.
Me personally, I have been using Lucas. And I'm not slamming Lucas by no means. I've been using them for years. You can find it pretty much anywhere. It's been good to me. But and I was telling you the story earlier about, or Mark. So I hadn't shot my large platform AR in probably a good 7-8 months. And I built a 6 Creedmoor gas gun upper, slapped it on the lower, just took the lower from the other rifle and put it on the 6 Creed, took it out to the range, and I kept jamming. It just would not feed. And I'm calling around everybody. I'm posting it on Facebook. I'm asking questions left and right. I send it back to my gunsmith and, hey man, do something. He calls me back and he said, Oscar, when's the last time you cleaned this thing? I said, what are you talking about, man? It's only been 6 months, 7 months. He's like, yeah, this stuff turned to paste. So you need to keep them. You need to keep shooting them or keep lubing them. Okay, so that was a lesson learned. Now with this product, tell us about that friction test, please.
That when I went to the manufacturers, I can tell you, they explained everything, and I can tell you the genius who explained this, his name's Ryan, and he just puts it so eloquently and like a doctor. I'll just put it that way. This friction test, he explains it, and it's basically metal on metal. It's a professional unit. You can actually go onto the Amazon and hit Alphagun gun oil, and we have 3 different videos, and he's going to explain it to a T. The actual measurements are on there, but the bottom line is that you put the oil into a container, and it does this lubricity test. It just turns circles until it metal on metal until it's it's giving that certain reading. And this stuff beats the competitors 70 to 80% better in lubricity, which is huge. And to further my point, Oscar, and Mark knows because I've explained this, these guys come from the oil and gas background. And this kind of thing easy. If you look at the head between 6 and 12 inches that has to dig into the earth, a mile and a half deep to get to the oil. I mean, can you imagine the downhole lubricants it takes to do that? So when these guys decided they were going to do this, they ended up finding out that with a few things few tweaks, like they were blowing it out of the water, and they're like, we're onto something. And you're going to hear Ryan talk on the video, and he says, we're onto something. He wasn't lying. And that goes, it goes a long ways. And I can tell you about polar technology, nanotechnology, and that really doesn't mean anything until, Mark and I went out, and I want Mark to talk about his AR-15 test that we went out and did, which was awesome to see. And I've taken the floor probably long enough, but if it's okay with you, Oscar, I'd love Mark to talk about the test that he conducted.
Tell me about it, Mark.
All right. Gary called me and said, hey, I want you to try this stuff. I said, all right, let's do a function test. You can say function test, but on Amazon, you can't say kill test. I've got to still redo my review that I've done. And I found that out. But the function test we did was real simple. We went to the range. I had a can of gun scrubbed the gun clean, took it down range, had a shovel. Gary's just kind of looking at me like, okay. I threw the gun down, threw dirt all in the gun. I mean, everywhere. Got a can of air, your keyboard cleaner and stuff. Blew out all I could and started shooting. I got to make about a mag and a half. And it said, nah, I'm done. I said, okay, cool. All right, Gary, here's your moment of truth. Let's see if this stuff really works. In the bolt, I put like 4 drops. I'll pull the bolt back, put 2 drops along the backside of the AR platform on my upper. And I was like, well, here goes nothing. Okay. 4.5 mags later, I started cooking off rounds in my chamber. It was getting that hot because I was shooting a little small AR pistol. I mean, it got hot real quick. And I was like, okay, keep going, Gary. And then I'm shooting, and it started cooking off rounds. I said, all right, Gary, I'm stopping. And I normally won't stop, but when it started cooking off rounds, I started getting nervous. I mean, granted, I had eye and ear protection, but still, it's like, this gun is scary. And I was like, okay, great. I love the product. And then, cleaned all my guns down to bare metal, started lubing this stuff up with it. It don't take a lot, and it has a unique smell to it. But, when people look at, oh, it's dirty. No, it's the way that this oil is made. It's made to last and get better and better. It goes from minus 40 degrees to plus 400. How many oils on the market that can do that you can go to your, Amazon or wherever you can find this product and go, hey, this oil is going to work in South Texas, North Dakota, except for when it gets like minus 50, but that's beside the point. But, somewhere like that, this product is the best product that you can get on the market that's going to last for one. It's going to make your weapon cycle constantly. It's more reliable than any of the other products online. And, I was at first I was like, okay, whatever. Somebody's repping a new product. No, I mean, I've known Gary for years. And that's the reason why I trusted him to try this product. And then we go in and did the function test on it. And then, we've got pictures. Hopefully I can get all the pictures done. I'll go do it again. Of course, I'm wasting some ammo, but I don't care. But, the product works. And that's all it counts. Everybody goes, build quantity is great. Quality is even better. You get both. You get the quality of a good product with a unique smell, and the durability of the product is great because it comes in these little bitty bottles. Get my camera here. It comes in this little bitty bottle, and it's a great product. I mean, I gave you a bottle. I mean, I got hooked up with you. We got you a bottle of it, and you were at the same range, and you were at the range, and you had problems. People had some more problems, like you were telling me. They had some issues with their rifle. And you say, "Hey, try this oil." All of a sudden, their stuff started cycling. I've given like 3 or 4 bottles of this way at the Corpus Christi Gun Club because it's a good product and it works. They go, "Where do you get it?" I said, "It's on Amazon."
Yeah.
And Gary,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, to just so everybody knows out there, the viewers, today is Tuesday, the 13th. So let me see, 13 and 14, 15. So Friday, the 16th, in a few days, just so everybody knows, that the Friday, the 16th and Saturday, the 17th, Mark and I are in a long-range precision rifle match, which is there at Rifles Only, world famous Rifles Only, there in Ricardo, Texas, Kingsville, Texas. It's a 2-day national match, and I have decided that I'm going to shoot my 6-arc gas gun, which is what I was at the range doing. So this Thursday, I'm going to go back to the range. I'm going to strip everything down to the metal. I'm going to use this. Now, this is going to be not only for the match, but my goal here, or to show, we're going to make a big review in the whole 9 yards. Friday, we're calling for some weather, right, Mark?
Yes, we are.
We're gonna be shooting, and it's gonna be raining. It's calling for like 80% chance of rain. I hate shooting in the mud, but oh well, it's what it is.
I don't mind. I love
And to Mark's point earlier, here I am shooting a gas gun in this weather. I want to see suppressed at that. Suppressed is just, it'll gunk up a rifle quickly, any kind of suppressor. But disclaimer, I am shooting an OSS suppressor, so it's going to keep my system running a little bit cleaner. However, it's still suppressed. So I want to test my platform, my rifle, to not only not gunk up in shooting suppressed, not jam or be giving me problems jamming because of the rain. Now, I may have some issues, maybe if water gets in the system and there's higher pressures and whatnot, but we'll try to avoid that. And make it through 2 days. 2 days with this oil on the weapon system. Normally, when I shoot suppressed without the OSS, I'll go maybe 3 or 4 stages, and I got to wipe it down, re-lube. We're not going to do that here. We're just going to run and roll with it and see how long and how far it'll take us. Now, if I start having issues, we'll kind of report and all that, and then I'll wipe it and re-lube. I may do that after day 1, just to kind of start day 2 fresh. But I think y'all get the point of what I'm trying to do here. So Thursday, we're going to go out and do that before the weather hits, and let's see how it goes. But we will. And to finish the point, just if anybody gets to watch this, it's at the match. I think there's going to be probably 80 to 100 of, some of the country's best. If you see Mark Otto out there, we'll probably be together most of the time. But if you see Mark out there, or you see me, we are going to have some, let's say, bottles to give away. So please feel free to come up to us and ask for a bottle, take it home, use it on your system while you're there, and let us know what you think, because that's the whole purpose. Again, kind of reminder, this stuff is made locally. It is a made in the USA product. It is made in the Corpus Christi area. So what's not to like, Mr. Gary, am I wrong?
No, absolutely. This stuff is made 25 minutes from where I'm at right now here in Corpus Christi. State-of-the-art facility, FDA certified, and you don't need that for gun oil, but these guys, it's just a legitimate place. And man, it's been a pleasure working with Trent and his team. It's been awesome. And I'll tell you that there's no way I would support anything that I didn't believe in. And I can tell you, I am not a salesperson, but this stuff, when you believe in something, this stuff is for real, and I believe in this system, and I can't say enough about it. And, the technology, when I first heard nanotechnology, I mean, it was almost humorous, like, okay, what does that exactly mean? I mean, it doesn't even sound real, but it's real. I mean, polar technology. And if you have any doubts, approach Oscar or Mark. We'll make sure we get you guys some bottles, even if you're sharing, whatever it takes to try it out. I mean, I really believe in this stuff. I use it on my weapons, and I absolutely love it. I mean, it's that good. Follow the directions. I mean, like Mark and Oscar are saying, that the two things that people have said, it has a unique smell. It does, but that's the technology. The other thing is, it's a darker oil than what most people are used to. So they think, okay, something's wrong with this. This was made in China, so I'm not going to test it because it's a dark oil. It's not made in China. It's not a knockoff. And that's one thing that Trent has agreed on. We're not releasing this stuff where 10 people can sell this or 20 people can sell this on Amazon. One person, which is ourselves, is the only ones that can do that. And you guys know, when you start getting too many people that have access to a product, all they do is they duplicate goods in China. Next thing you know, you think you're getting a knockoff, basically. But this stuff is legitimate. Yeah. I'm a believer, and I know I've spoken enough. Anyway, that's how much I believe in it. And I am not a salesperson. I just a guy who likes to shoot, come from a law enforcement security background, shot thousands of rounds out of my pistol. And again, this stuff is for real.
I'm just kind of reading here on the Amazon site. And get down at the bottom under the AR-15s and semi-auto rifles. And I'll just read it off what the website says. It says, emphasize reduced bolt carrier group wear and improved reliability for high volume shooting. Triggers and internals, enhance trigger pull smoothness and ensure reliable functionality of internal mechanisms. Then that's exactly what we need, especially in the semi-auto world. Looking at, I hope y'all don't mind if I'm just going off of what the website here says. And right now it is $7.99 a bottle. And if you buy 2 or more, you can save 15%. So that's a pretty good deal, guys. Made in the USA. I can't say that.
The regular price on this stuff is $13.99, but we want to get it out to as many people as we can. So we knocked it down to $7.99. And I know if you get on Amazon right now and you look at it and it says it's 11% off because it was $8.99. The original price is $13.99. But Amazon has this way of controlling everything and putting whatever they want on there, which is fine. But I'm just telling you, it's $13.99. And we have it down to $7.99 because we're trying to get it out to as many people as we can. That's the whole point here, is we want people to try it out,
Yeah. And we're going to put the word out. All right. Mark, what caliber are we shooting this weekend?
We're going to go with the 6.5 bolt gun. Thought about pulling out the 308 AR, but I was like, no, I haven't really got enough ammo loaded for it. The 6.5 I'm ready to play with. I've got it dialed in. Last Saturday I was shooting to 1,020 yards and having fun. And JK's little stepson was he was 5 years old. He was also shooting out that far and hitting targets. And it was kind of cool to watch him shoot. And JK will be at the match. He's shooting his 6.5. I don't know which one, but he's going to have some fun. But I'm looking forward to this weekend because, one, the crappier the weather, the better it is for me because I don't mind getting nasty and dirty. I kind of get a kick out of it and listen to everybody complain. Oh, I can't believe the price of these rifles, and everybody's out there in the rain going, I can see a I mean, I've got a wagon that I've made me a special contraption to put a tarp over to try to keep it somewhat dry. And it's like, okay, it is what it is. And, you know, in 3-gun, you shoot, as long as it ain't lightning and thunder, you're pulling the trigger on something. And I've been in some real muddy messes, and it's like, this is fun. I'm going to have fun and enjoy myself. I'll be up spirited and doing my little dances around, just kind of enjoying myself, going, and everybody's all serious. Oh, I got to do this. And I'm like, no, I'm just having fun. I'm just out there, you know, to enjoy myself and, you know, and learn some different stuff from a different sport that I don't do a lot of. I mean, I could, but it's just, you know, 3-gun right now with some of the stuff that I'm coming up with for the new magazine fed shotguns are going to be pretty cool. But that's a different story and a different article we'll do later maybe. And yeah, it's just looking forward to having fun this weekend, shooting some long distances, small targets, and going, all I want to hear is impact, or, oh, that was so close, I missed it. Dang it. 2/10 off.
Yeah.
Let's work on it. They kind of looked at me funny last year because I remember last year up on the platform, I started calling tenths for everybody. And they're just kind of like, aren't you a competitor? I was like, yeah, but I don't mind helping people out. I mean, I'm not going to win the thing. I'm there to have fun. And if I can have fun by helping you do better than what you've done in the past, hey, we're just enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, and this is rifles only. And I'm excited to see what Jacob Bynum, the owner and director, the kind of stages he has set up for us. I mean, Gary and Kate, I know you've never been there, but we will shoot, I think 450 yards, more or less, shooting off of this rope that just kind of goes like, and you're shooting from inside of a Huey helicopter. I'll you know, through the door, right? You are, I mean, Jacob will put you in positions that will make you, you know, real uncomfortable. Not impossible, but just, you know, a lot of guys will show up and they'll say, oh yeah, man, I can shoot 700-800 yards, no problem. Well, yeah, but they don't tell you that's prone. And then, you know, Jacob will put you in a pretzel and then ask you to shoot 600-700 yards. And yeah, good luck with that.
You need to stretch before you do anything when you get out there. Get there about 30-45 minutes early. Start stretching, because that's what I'm doing. I'm finding some
and you better have your rain gear.
Oh yeah,
you better have your rain gear.
Knee pads.
So we're going to have a great time. We're going to be trying this stuff out, and I'm 100% confident that we're going to come back and report that the gas gun just sang like a canary, and you know, didn't have a hiccup. You know, if the dummy behind the gun could probably do his part, you know, I'm hoping to do well. You know, I don't expect much because, again, as I said, some of the best in the country are going to be there. But if I can just not zero a stage, and I think I'm winning, I've done well. So last year, man, Mark, you remember last year? That was Mr. David Weebad. He won a tractor.
A mower. Yeah, a mower.
Wasn't it? It was a zero turn? Zero turn mower. That was first place prize. Yeah, David Weiss, boy, he did very, very.
Yeah.
And I wish, and they're going to be back. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm not crazy about the weather, but it is what it is. I've got my rain gear ready to go, and my tarp over my little wagon too, my little stroller. So we're gonna, you know, hopefully, Gary, maybe one day kind of see what it is we do, and I guess getting back to my intro about how we don't talk about it anymore, and how we clean our weapons, and the products that we use. In that this match here, most national matches are right about between, let's say, $275 to $300. Throw in your ammo, which is going to be around 200 rounds. You know, now you're looking at about, you know, between $500 and $800. Your gas, your hotel, your food, you know, everything. By the time you add it all up, you're well within, you know, right around the $1,500 to $2,000 mark. So the last thing, after all these expenditures and energy and focus, the last thing I want to happen is my weapon to give me problems, because I didn't use the right lubricant. And that's what we're going to show this weekend, that we're going to put this stuff to the test. And for the competitor, right? It's one thing oil field, it's one thing over here, and it's one thing there. We are going to show how it can really help the competitor. And if it works for us in rain, in South Texas, salt weather, and everything else without jamming, it's going to work in anything else, any other environment. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have. Mr. Gary, any final parting words?
Man, I can only say, like I said, I'm not a salesperson. Just give this stuff a shot and try it out. I look forward to the results. I can't wait. I do want to meet up with you guys on Thursdays. I want to provide some more gun oil so you guys can take to the event. But on Thursday, when you're sighting in the weapons, I would love to hang out and maybe shoot a few rounds with you guys. And that's all I have. And I look forward to the end results.
I'll be out there on Thursday, so I'm going to call you before I go out there.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
all right.
Too.
Yeah. Mr. Mark, any final words?
No, I mean, the product sells itself. Once you try it, you'll be like, I wish I had this earlier. And longevity of this product is going to be great. 2 ounces will last you a little while, but you never know. It depends on how many firearms you use it on. I mean, I use it on everything from pistols, rifles, and shotguns. It's like, okay, I'm glad I got 4 or 5 bottles now, because it's like, okay, I'm going through bottles. It's like, okay, clean your gun, strip it down, lube it up like it's supposed to, go out there and shoot 400 or 500 rounds, especially like at a practice session, because I'm getting ready for, some matches in April. I'll be traveling a lot in April before I have ankle surgery in June. And I'm trying to get it all in before I have to get cut on. So we'll see what happens there. And, the product, like I said, it's great. It works great. I was skeptical at first, and then once I tried it, I'm like, threw dirt in the gun, blew out the gun, shook out the gun, hit four drops here, 2 drops there, 6 drops, and I started cooking through rounds, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And the gun still.
I'm surprised you didn't run it over with your truck.
No, I'm not gonna trash. I'm not gonna run over them. No, that ain't part of the test. It's a lubricant, not a. Can I run over my truck with it? No.
Hey, I got guys sharpen their knives with it. I got guys using it on all their fishing gear. It's crazy. This stuff.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Gear, it's crazy,
And there's a few elite units that are actually using this product right now. I didn't want to go into detail. Gary told me about them, but there's a few elite units and specialty units that use this stuff. And if they're using it, it's being a good quality product. And we can't disclose who are some of them because it is what it is. But the elite units, if they like it, they're going to use it, and they're going to but yet once they're done doing their thing and they're away from their elite unit, they can talk about it. And that's one thing that I like to see is you talk a lot about officers, military. In the military, we always use CLP because that's all they gave us. Now you have different stuff out there. Hey, I've got this gun oil that I want to use now in my stuff, and it's like, wow, it's going to run. So in a situation, and you've got to rely on your weapon. Well, if you have one, you've done everything correctly. You're a good shooter and everything, but yet if your lubricant is not good, well, guess what? You're not worth squat. And that's how I look at it, is if something I use and it screws me once, I don't want it back. But, in their line of work, if it screws them, they may end up dying. But, so far there's not been any bad reports on this product from the elite units, and they're probably going to be ordering more. We're trying to get into the GSA for the government side. Once Gary can get all that worked out, Bob's your uncle. It's done. I mean, it's going to be hopefully take over from CLP. It's in nice little bottles. We're working on some, hopefully work with Trent to get some different sizes and so forth. Because, somebody may want, well, hey, I want a gallon of this stuff in a pump out jar or something. Who knows? It's kind of endless what they can do with it as long as everybody talks to each other and says, hey, look, this is how I wanted my bottles. We'll see what we can do to make it happen.
And I love the compact size, the small little bottle. It's perfect for the competitor. Throw it in your bag and it's there. You don't, it's not oversized or anything like that. So,
Right.
Okay. Well, again, Mark, I look forward to it this weekend. We'll get a hold of you guys. We'll meet up at the range on Thursday before the weather comes in, and we'll get everything ready to go. So thanks again, guys, for showing up and talking to us. And we'll definitely be doing this again.
Thank you for having us, Oscar.
We'll see you.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Hang tight.
Bye.